Hello, don't worry, it's Joe. What's good, everybody? I tried making this intro a couple different times. I was trying to be all, professional and, keep myself right, but I just can't seem to do that. It's like my brain doesn't work if I'm not rambling. But if I don't have something to ramble about, it's like my brain is just like, it shuts off. So there goes your little quick 20, 35-second ramble. But let's get into the actual topic of this video. So the other day I went to go take a computers test. And I studied a little bit. I probably started studying in about December, and I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, I can take tests fast. I learn information quick. I'm about to go in there. I'm about to go pass this test. I didn't really study that hard. I didn't really study that hard, and I didn't really study that well. I did study, and that was my thing too. So I was like, I normally don't ever study for tests. So the fact that I studied for this, yeah, I'm gonna go pass it. So I went to go take the test, and I failed by one question. If I would have gotten one more question right, I would have passed the test. And a lot of people would look at that and they'd be like, "Oh wow, you only started this for like a month and you only failed by one question. Wow, that's so good." But me personally, I knew what the problem was. I wasn't really putting in work like the way I knew I needed to be. Throughout the whole month where I started studying and I started getting into it, like I was watching YouTube. I didn't really take any classes. I was watching YouTube videos. Trying to learn the information. So I found like a course on YouTube to teach me the info that I needed to learn. And it was like 16 videos. And most of the videos weren't but like 30 minutes. But most of the videos weren't but about 30 minutes. But even that was too much for me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, I want to get this. I want to pass this test as quick as possible. I want to go on the fast track to do what I need to do. So I went and I put those videos in 2x speed because like, oh, this guy's talking too slow. Like, nah, this ain't gonna work. So I put the videos in 2x speed. So I'm like, yeah, now these 30-minute videos are gonna be 15 minutes each. And if I can, if I sit down and watch an hour, I can watch 4 videos as opposed to watching 2 videos. But in doing that, I didn't even watch more videos. I put the videos in 2x speed, and then I would still only watch 1 video. So I'm not even getting the full benefit of what I was trying to do. But the problem wasn't even the 2x speed or any of that. The problem was that I was trying to cut corners and take shortcuts to get to where I'm trying to get to. So you watch a video in 2x speed, you're only going to be able to grasp so much information. And I'm over here like, yeah, well, my brain is faster. A lot of people can't watch 2x speed, but I'm watching 2x speed. Yeah, this is going to help me so much. And I watched all those videos and like, yeah. And the thing is, after I finished watching the whole videos that he made, I knew I wasn't ready to take the test, but I was just like, I didn't want to watch the videos again. I was like, oh, it's going to take too long. I don't want to watch all that. I'll kind of take notes. I took notes for like the first 3 videos. I'm like, nah, I'm just going to remember most of this stuff. So I stopped taking notes. Like I ended up just watching the videos. I'm like, I'm going to retain all this information. And then I took a couple practice tests online. And even when I took those, I just memorized the test. So the first time I take the test, I would get like a 60%, 50%. And I take the test again and I get like a 90. And I'm like, okay, cool. I know the information. No, I didn't know the information. I knew how to take a test. And that's what a lot of people do. We think that we try to learn enough information to the point where we can go and take a test and we can, recite what we read in a book or something, but a lot of us don't actually know what we're doing. So even when I went to go take the test, that it was different from the practice test. It was more kind of real life application. It's like, what would you do if you ran into this and that type of stuff. So I went and took the test and I really don't know. I can answer the questions if you ask it exactly how the practice tests were asking me, because I memorized that. But when you start asking me in more realistic ways, I don't know what I'm talking about. And that's because I'm rushing. I'm trying to speed up the process. I'm trying to get something done as fast as possible instead of me actually taking the time to slow down and make sure I'm understanding and grasping each concept, and I can explain stuff to somebody who doesn't even know what we're talking about. And that's a lot of problem that a lot of us have. So I guess it brings me to my first point, and I guess the title of the video. You think you're putting in work, but you're really not. You know what I'm saying? We sit up here and we think that by us, the fact that we're just sitting down and we're sitting in front of the computer and we're studying, oh yeah, I'm putting in work, I'm doing stuff. We start reading books and stuff, and we're like, oh, I read 5-6 books, oh, I went through all these, I watched all these videos, like, yeah, I know something. But we're not retaining any of the information. We're just trying to speed through everything as fast as possible. I started reading As a Man Thinketh not too long ago, and when I didn't have my bookmark, so I would read like a chapter or two, but I would forget where I left off at. Excuse me. And so when I pick up the book again, I go look at the chapter, I'd be like, I think I read this chapter already, but I'm not sure. And then I start reading the first couple pages, and I'm like, oh, okay, I already read this. Let me skip over to the next chapter. But then eventually I started thinking, I'm like, well, hold on, wait a minute. If you don't even remember reading this chapter, you clearly don't know it that much. So you might as well read it again so you can get some good, valuable information that you can recall to. If you just read a book just to read a book, just to say, oh, I read 6 books, I read 7 books, I read 1,000 books, you're not actually retaining any of the information. You would be better off reading the same book 5 times than reading 5 different books. Because each time you go back and you read it, you're going to learn something new that you didn't really see before. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with this studying. It's the same thing with this putting in work, whether it's in the gym, whether it's reading books, whether it's studying, school, work, whatever the case may be. You're going to be better off redoing the same thing over and over and over again to pick up on stuff that you missed, as opposed to doing 5, 10 different things halfway. You feel what I'm saying? You trying to go fast is actually slowing you down. But if you would actually slow down and make sure you understand what you're doing, and you look back and you check your work and make sure everything looks good, it's going to help you progress to the next levels way faster than you ever could. You feel what I'm saying? But even with that, one thing we need to do is stop focusing on trying to go so fast all the time. Stop focusing on trying to do everything the quickest route. Oh, I need a new job. I need a new career. Let me see the fastest way I can get this career. Okay, there's a 6-month course, but maybe if I go fast enough, if I turn it in double speed, I can do it in 3 months. And if I really, really grind, but when you really, really grind, you're not really, really grinding, because you're not understanding what you're doing. So even if you get a certificate or something, even if you pass a test that says, oh, you can do this, when it's time for you to go out into the field and when it's time for you to apply for jobs and stuff, and they're going to be asking you stuff in different ways that it didn't say on the test, you're going to be like, and you're not going to be able to get the job that you're looking for. You're not going to actually be qualified enough to do what it is that you wanted to do. So slow down, stop trying to rush so much, stop worrying about how long something's going to take. Just accept the fact that you're going to have to put in a certain level of work. And then the funny thing is too, though, like I said, once you actually sit down and you focus on learning each individual thing that you need to learn, it makes it a lot easier it makes it a lot faster to get to where you're trying to get to, as opposed to just doing stuff just to get it done. So after I failed that test, I went immediately to a Starbucks that was nearby the test facility, and I started studying again, but this time I started studying the right way. I sat down, I brought out a notebook, and I started playing the videos, and I started writing every single thing down that I need to write down. Even the stuff that says, oh, I can remember that. Even the stuff that I already knew, I said, no, let me write this down so it can actually be implemented in my brain. And also I can go back and look at my notes if I ever need to. Instead of having to pull up on the internet, I can go look at my notes and see exactly what I said, and it'll be stated to me in a way that I can remember personally. You feel what I'm saying? But in doing that, I noticed that before I would, sit down and study when I just watched the videos, I would sit down for maybe 30 minutes max, an hour max, and I would come away with nothing. This time I sat down and I actually focused on studying. I would be able to sit down and study for 3, 4, 5 hours at a time, and I'm actually grasping all the information. I might not be blazing past each video as fast, but I'm understanding each video more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm understanding these videos so much that I don't really need to go back to them, because I clearly grasp it and I understand the information, as opposed to when I put it in double speed, I'm going to have to watch that video 2 or 3 times anyways to really understand. So you might as well just slow down, take notes, and you need to appreciate the process of the thing that you're actually doing. That's why you can never be consistent with anything. That's why you never find success. That's why you end up quitting stuff, because you're just trying to rush through. Your main focus is, okay, let me just watch this video so I can get it done with, as opposed to, let me watch this video. Oh, I didn't understand that. Rewind. Oh, I didn't understand that. Rewind. Okay, rewind. Okay, let me slow it down. Let me watch it again. And when you do that, when you practice the same thing over and over and over again, it's not going to leave you. As fast as that information comes in is as fast as it leaves. But as slow as it comes in, the slower it's going to leave too, because you're going to have remember process. Man, I tried to learn this thing and it really took me 3 hours. I was teaching myself how to play guitar, and I played one song. It was Monster by Skillet. It's a really easy song. That's why I tried to learn it. But before I was trying to learn it fast. I'm like, okay, how do I do the chorus? How do I do the hook? How do I do the main riff? You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to learn each part at once and the beat. And then when I'm playing, I'm like, how come I'm not playing it right? But it wasn't until I sat down, I said, you know what? I'm going to learn the intro first. I'm going to learn the main riff first. That's it. That's the only thing I'm going to focus on. And I'm going to do that over and over and over and over again until I get it right. But actually, let me rephrase that. I'm not just going to do it over and over and over again until I get it right. I'm going to do it over and over and over again until I can't get it wrong. Boom. That's a quote right there, baby. And I think I meant to quote that in the previous video that I made, but I couldn't find out how to get the quote right. But that's the quote I was trying to tell you guys about if you watched the other video. I don't remember what video it was in, but it was maybe like within the last 5 videos. Hey, go watch all 5 videos. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to hurt. You get some good information and you're going to help me out. Go watch all 5 videos if you really want to see the quote. But back to the point. That's what you got to do. Don't be so focused and worried about, oh, I want to learn this song so fast. You know, I just need to... I want to hurry up. I need to learn everything. No, learn one thing at a time. And the funny thing is, once you learn that, once you do that over and over and over again until you can't mess up, it's going to make the rest of the process a lot easier. Once you get the fundamentals down of what you're trying to do, it's going to make everything that you do after that a lot more simple. But when you try to learn everything at once, it's only going to slow you down. So go slow and steady wins the race. You feel what I'm saying? We don't just say it just to say it. It's the truth. Slow down so that you can get to the place that you want to get to. You need to set a foundation, and then you can keep going from there to try to get to the place where you're trying to get to. So that's point one. I was trying to go too fast and I was rushing, all right? The second point I wanted to make is your fear of losing is what's holding you back. So I didn't really have this issue when I went to go take that test because I'm a pretty confident guy. So I had the opposite of this. I didn't really fear losing because even when I took the test, I kind of knew, like I said, I knew I wasn't really ready, but I was like, hey, either I passed this test or I failed the test, but I have to go take this test. So after I finished watching those videos and whatnot, I was like, well, I mean, I finished the videos. I need to go schedule this test. Even though I knew I should have studied more, but I was like, I had to schedule this test. I got to see where I'm at. Do I know enough? You don't know what you don't know. So, I didn't know if I was going to be ready or not to take the test until I actually go take it. I couldn't find good enough practice tests on the internet or whatnot. So I was like, forget it, man. Let me go take this test. And in me doing that, that's where I was able to see the areas where I lack. After I failed the test, that's when I started looking back and reflecting. I'm saying, okay, let's be real. Okay, you weren't studying that hard. You didn't know what to study. You know what I'm saying? You weren't really looking that hard. Instead of studying, you were laying on the couch watching TikTok. You were saying you were too tired. Oh, I can't do it. I need to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? You're focused on all this other stuff. You're not really putting in work. Your brain is on 5, 6 different tasks where you needed to really just be focused on one. And once I took the test and failed, because I wasn't afraid of losing, now I'm able to get revelation and understand, okay, next time we go after this thing, we need to go hit it hard like this. And that's everything in life. You're not going to make progress until you know why you failed. I had a friend and he was like, oh my gosh, bro, I went to the gym and I tried to do my personal best and I didn't get it. And all the weights slid off the bar and I was so embarrassed. I had to tell him, that's not embarrassing. You went out there and you tried to achieve something that you've never achieved before and you just didn't reach it. But now you know what you need to work on, and then you go work on that, and maybe a week later, maybe 2 weeks later, it could even be 3, 4, 5 days. Well, I mean, shoot, I don't know what's going to happen, but 3, 4, 5 days later, maybe you try it again and you actually excel and prosper. You feel what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with going out there and failing and messing up a little bit. You get right back up, and then you try again. You get right back up, make some adjustments from the first time, and then you go out there and try again. That's life. You're never going to make any progress if you don't ever want to fail. You have to fail in order to make progress because nobody's perfect. If you look at anybody who's in any position, any top athlete, star, actor, whatever, they always had to fail in some type of way in order for them to get better. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to showcase that and show you their failure, but I guarantee you they failed. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of making progress and getting to where you want to get to. So don't let your pride hold you back. Oh, I'm going to be embarrassed. People are going to make fun of me. So what? They can make fun of you if they want. If they're making fun of you, they just never, you know what I'm saying? They're not at their full potential. You're never going to reach your full potential without failing. So understand that. So if somebody wants to make fun of you for failing or for not doing it the best the first time you did something, we already know that you know what I'm saying, they're not going to be worth anything. But people who understand, people who put in the work, people who actually they don't just make it look like they're doing something. People who are actually doing something, they understand the process and they understand that failure is a part of it. So don't let people try to knock you off the path and make fun of you because don't let people do it, and don't let your pride do it, knock you off the path because you think that you're supposed to be perfect, because nobody can be perfect. And social media will try to tell you that, but it's an absolute lie and it's not true. And then my third point, you are not any more special than the next man. So when I went out to take this test, I'm like, yeah, I'm a good test taker. In school, I could take a test so fast. I'd never really studied or nothing like that. So I'm going to easily go get this. I'm going to, you know, because I'm special. I have a gift and the skill to learn stuff quick. So I'm going to go out there and take the test. And you see, I failed. Because and when I say you're not special, I mean, you're not special because everybody is special. Everybody has something that they have a natural propensity, they have a gift to do. Everybody has something like that. So mine, yeah, sure, the quick information learning and stuff is one of my gifts, but you have to refine that gift. The same way that somebody else might be a really good athlete or something, but you still have to refine that gift. You might have a natural propensity towards it, but you have to refine it. If you don't put in the work, that gift isn't really a gift. It's more of a curse. It's a curse of missed out potential. So when I'm saying, oh, I'm going to do so good, yeah, I know all this stuff, I can learn information quick. Yeah, you learn information quick when you actually put in the work and you do what you're supposed to do. That's the gift, but it's not just something that you get for free. You know what I'm saying? You still have to put in work. You have to make sure you're refining that gift and make sure you're actually going out there and attempting to learn the information. If you actually attempt to learn the information and put in the work, you will learn stuff quick. But you don't just learn stuff quick from just looking at a video one time and that's it. No, you have to go out there and you have to put in the work. But a lot of us, we delude ourselves and we say, oh, I'm special. I have a gift. I have a talent. And you know the quote, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. You feel what I'm saying? If everything that we tried to achieve in life was only about talent, why is it that these talented people that you look up to, why is it that they're still better right now than they were when they were 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old, even 14, 15, 16 years old? If it was only about talent. No, it's because they continue to put in work. Yes, the talent definitely helps, but you have to continue to put in work and growing and stacking on top of that. If it was only about talent, everybody would just be as good as they're going to be when they come out the womb. You feel what I'm saying? Or when they hit puberty, when their body starts to work. But no, they're learning more skills. They have more abilities. You're adding to your bag. You're getting better. You're learning more techniques. You feel what I'm saying? Anybody can learn the technique. Now, some people can use it better than others. But the point is, you have to put in work no matter what. No matter how special you think you are, and no matter how non-special you think you are. You have to put in work. And everybody's special. Everybody has something that they're really good at. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be focused and looking at the next man thinking, oh man, he has it so easy. He's so talented. He's so special. He has to put in work. You have to put in work. He might be looking at you as something else, be like, oh, he's so smart. He can just get a good grade on the test, whatever. You still have to put in a certain amount of work for that too. You have to make sure you're paying attention in class. He had to make sure he's going to the workouts and stuff. So everybody's special, which means you're not really that special. So go put in the work just like everybody else has to, and you will see how far you can really get and how special you are when you get to the place that you're trying to get to. And then my final point for this video, and it kind of ties into the last one I just made. You need to make sure you do the work that's set before you. So you can't be so focused on the next man. Oh, this guy said he did it. He studied in 3 months. Because I've seen a lot of videos like that for the test. It said, how I passed the test in only 7 days, 8 days, or whatever. Well, they had previous experience with computers and stuff. So even though they're studying for 7, 8 days, they already knew about the stuff that was on the test. You know what I'm saying? But me coming from a background of no information on the computers and stuff, I can't just study for 7, 8 days. I might need to study for a little bit more, closer to a month or whatever. Don't get so wrapped up in what the next man is doing and how fast they're doing it and try to replicate them. And also don't get so focused on how slow the next person's going. They took 3 months to do it. I can do it in only a month. How about you just go out there and do the work and make sure you know the information and you actually know it and you can actually do what it is that you're trying to do. Stop focusing on the next man, worrying about him. Do what you need to do. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus was talking to the disciples and he was telling Peter, basically, Peter, this is how your life is going to go out. This is how it's going to end. Like, this is what your life is going to look like. And Peter was like, wait, that's how my life, because he wasn't too happy about it. And then Peter was like, that's how my life is going to go? Well, what about John right there? And Jesus had to tell him, don't worry about what John has going on. I just told you what you got going on. So you need to focus and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. John will do what he needs to do. But you need to stay in your own lane and focus. You feel what I'm saying? So that's God himself who said that. And it's the same thing for you. Stop worrying about what the next man is going to do, what's going to happen to him, what's going to happen to her, what's going to happen to your uncle, your cat, whatever. No. Focus on what you need to do and what's set before you. And once you get that, you can actually get to the max potential that God has for you, that's set for you. But you're only going to get there by focusing on yourself. Now, you can always learn stuff from other people and see where somebody's doing something wrong or see where somebody's doing right. But the fact of the matter is you're the only one who can run your own race. So if it takes you a month to learn something, cool. If it takes you 2 weeks, cool. If it takes you a year, then so be it. But you have to make sure you're diligently putting in the work to make sure you're actually improving at whatever it is that you're trying to do. So that's it for this video. It's just kind of 4 key points. Yeah, don't try to cheat the system. You can't cheat the system. You can't cut corners. You're not going to get to where you want to get to by cutting corners. So as always, like, subscribe, comment, watch another video, because you know we got to boost the algorithms and everything like that. But I thank you guys for watching. Love all of y'all, and I'm going to check you later.